Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. You know, we always like to bring you the latest and greatest in AI, and today is no different.
Oh yeah, this is going to be fun.
We're taking a deep dive into the Increase Your ZAKA newsletter, and let me tell you, this thing is packed.
It is.
All right, so where do we even begin?
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear that the world of AI is just moving at warp speed these days, right?
Right, it can be tough to keep up, but hey, that's our job, right? To
Yeah.
kind of sift through all the noise and figure out, okay, what are the things that really matter?
Yeah.
What's going to actually impact our lives?
Right.
And from what I'm seeing in this newsletter, there's some seriously groundbreaking stuff happening. We've got AI generating videos that look more real than ever,
Uh-huh.
new tools popping up left and right to empower developers, and AI just becoming more woven into the fabric of our daily lives.
I'm telling you, even a year ago, some of the things we're saying now would have sounded like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Totally. So let's just jump right in. Okay. One of the biggest things that caught my eye in this newsletter is this whole race in AI video generation.
Yeah.
Now, we've all seen those AI-generated videos before, but apparently there's a new player in town that's blowing everyone else out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Alibaba's 2.1.
Yeah, 1.2.1 is definitely shaking things up.
Fill us in. What's so special about it?
So it's not just generating like higher quality AI videos, it's more than that.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking like more realistic movements, more details, like finer detail. It's just crazy how good it's getting.
Wow.
But here's the really interesting part. Alibaba is making it open source.
Oh, wow.
They're basically saying, hey, everyone, come and play with this amazing technology, which I think is a really bold move.
So what does that mean for creators?
Yeah.
For businesses, like for anyone who wants to make videos?
I mean, think about it. You could basically describe a scene, right? Like write it out or even upload a few images, and this AI can generate a dynamic video from that. Like imagine what that could do for filmmakers, animators, even just someone making a presentation for work. It's like, whoa.
The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Oh, yeah. And the fact that it's open source means that we could see even more innovation down the line.
Right, because more people are going to be able to tinker with it, experiment with it, push the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so exciting about it. It's like, who knows what incredible things people are going to create with this technology.
And it's not just about entertainment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the potential in education, in scientific visualization,
Yeah.
even in like medical training. It's pretty
Oh,
mind-blowing.
yeah, totally. It's really going to change things.
And it's not just in video generation where we're seeing these huge leaps forward. The newsletter also highlights how the competition is really heating up to empower developers with AI, which is another really fascinating area.
Absolutely.
And they specifically mentioned DeepSeek and their R2 model.
Yeah, they've been doing some really interesting stuff, especially when it comes to coding.
Right.
Like, their focus is not just on, like, simple tasks or like automating repetitive things. It's more about building AI that can truly understand and interact with code at a much deeper level.
All right, so we're talking about AI that can reason, that can solve complex problems, that can basically help developers write better code faster.
Exactly. And their R2 model is supposed to be even more powerful when it comes to coding, and it even has multi-language support, which is huge.
Well, but DeepSeek isn't the only one making waves in this space, right? We've also got Google's Gemini Code Assist to consider.
Oh, yeah, right. Google's entry into this whole thing is a big deal.
Right.
They've launched this free AI coding assistant that's like designed to help developers write code more efficiently and accurately.
So it's like having a super smart coding buddy sitting right next to you, helping you out, catching your mistakes, suggesting better ways to do things.
Yeah, exactly. And it can even work with like massive code bases, which is pretty amazing.
So whether you're like a seasoned coding pro or just starting out, these tools could really level up your game. It makes you wonder, though, what does all this competition mean for the future of software development?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, could we see a future where coding becomes more accessible to people who don't have like traditional training? Could it change the types of software that are being developed? Even the speed at which innovation happens?
Right. It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely something to watch closely.
Absolutely. But for now, let's shift gears a bit. ZAKA also highlights how AI is becoming more accessible and integrated into our everyday lives, which I think is something we can all relate to.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the things they point to is Microsoft's decision to remove the limitations on Copilot's voice and think deeper features.
Yeah, that was a big move.
You deal, right?
It is because it makes those like advanced AI features available to everyone, you know?
Right. Before, you either had to like pay extra or they were just limited in some way.
Right. But now anyone who's using Copilot can take advantage of voice commands and even ask it to do more complex things.
So it's like having a superpower personal assistant at your beck and call.
Right, exactly. You can literally say something like, hey, Copilot, analyze this giant spreadsheet and give me a summary of the key findings. And it can do it.
It's incredible.
I know, and that's just scratching the surface.
It's not just Microsoft pushing for greater accessibility either.
Right.
ZAKA also mentions 11 Labs, which has launched this platform for self-publishing AI audiobooks,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
which is a game changer, right?
Hmm.
I mean, think about it. For authors, especially those who are independently published, it can be really expensive and time-consuming to record an audiobook with a human narrator.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But now, with AI, they can generate a professional quality audiobook directly from their manuscript.
Right. And for listeners, it means that they'll have access to a wider selection of audiobooks, potentially at lower prices, too.
So it's a win-win for everyone. But it also makes you wonder about the future of narration and voice acting, right? Like, how is AI going to impact those industries?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how things unfold.
But, it all comes back to this idea of AI making creative tools more accessible to everyone, which is a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
And then there's Perplexity. They've got this upcoming web browser called Comet.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
That they're describing as like an AI-first browsing experience.
AI first, huh? That's pretty intriguing.
It is intriguing. I mean, the details are still a little bit under wraps, but knowing Perplexity, it's going to be something pretty innovative.
Yeah, they always push the boundaries.
Right. So instead of just like passively displaying information, Comet could actively anticipate your needs, surface relevant insights, maybe even synthesize complex data into like easily digestible summaries.
Right. It's almost like having an AI research assistant built directly into your browser.
Right. Think about how that could change the way we learn, the way we research, even just the way we browse the web for fun. It's pretty wild.
It is. It paints a very different picture of the future of browsing.
Okay, I think we need to take a breath here. I mean, we've already covered so much ground, and it's clear that the pace of innovation in AI is just relentless.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
It is. But before we get totally swept away, let's talk about some of the practical applications of these technologies.
Good idea. It's easy to get lost in the hype, you know. But it's important to remember that AI is already being used to solve real-world problems, and that's where things get really exciting.
And luckily, ZAKA has done a great job of curating a list of must-know AI tools that we can actually start using today.
Perfect. Let's dive into those.
But you know what? I think that deserves its own segment. I don't want to overload our listeners.
Yeah, good call. We've given them a lot to digest already.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and explore those practical tools in our next segment.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so we're back and ready to dive into those must-know AI tools that ZAKA highlighted.
Yeah, let's get practical. You know, it's one thing to talk about all these amazing AI advancements, but it's another thing to see how they can be applied in our everyday lives and work.
Exactly. So first up on ZAKA's list is HubSpot AI. Now, I'll admit, I'm not exactly a marketing whiz, so what's the big deal with this one?
Well, you know how marketers are always juggling like a million things at once?
Oh, yeah. Content creation, social media, email campaigns, data analysis, the list goes on and on.
Right, it can be overwhelming. But that's where HubSpot AI comes in. It's like this suite of tools that's designed to automate and optimize a lot of those tasks so marketers can focus on, the big picture stuff.
Okay, so if I'm like drowning in spreadsheets and marketing to-dos, HubSpot AI can throw me a life preserver.
Pretty much. It can help you personalize your marketing messages so you're not just blasting out the same generic stuff to everyone. It can help you figure out which customer segments are most valuable to your business so you can target them more effectively. It can even predict which campaigns are likely to perform best.
Wow. That's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
It's like having a whole team of marketing experts working for you behind the scenes.
Exactly. Okay, next on ZAKA's list is Copy.ai. And this one seems to be all about, AI taking over the world of writing.
Oh boy, the robots are coming for our jobs.
Well, not quite a takeover, but it's definitely shaking things up.
Okay.
What Copy.ai does is it focuses on generating marketing copy, things like taglines, ad copy, even blog posts, the kind of stuff that can be really time-consuming to create.
Right, and sometimes it can be hard to come up with, like, Frank, it is, especially if you're feeling burnt out or you've got writer's block.
Exactly. But with copy.ai, you can just input some basic information like, your product or service and your target audience, and it'll spit out a bunch of different options for you.
Wow, so it's like having a super-powered brainstorming partner who can just churn out catchy phrases and compelling calls to action on demand.
Pretty much. But it's not about replacing human creativity. It's more about, augmenting it and freeing up time for more strategic thinking.
Right, so you can focus on the big picture stuff like overall strategy and messaging
Mm,
while AI handles the more, repetitive tasks.
exactly. Next up is Crayon. And this one seems to be all about keeping an eye on the competition.
Oh yeah, competitive intelligence. That's always important in business.
Right, absolutely. In today's fast-paced world, it's not enough to just focus on your own thing. You need to know what your competitors are doing, what trends are emerging, what's changing in the market.
Right, so you can stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And that's where Crayon comes in. It uses AI to gather all sorts of information about your competitors, like, their marketing campaigns, their product launches, their pricing strategies.
Okay, so instead of just reacting to what my competitors are doing, I can actually get a heads up and plan my own strategy accordingly.
Exactly. It's about being proactive and making informed decisions based on, real-time data.
I like it. Proactive, not reactive.
Hmm.
Okay, what about the world of social media? ZAKA recommends checking out Okoya for this.
Yeah, Okoya is pretty cool. Social media can be a full-time job in itself these days.
Hey, tell me about it. I feel like I'm constantly switching between apps and platforms, trying to keep up with everything.
Right, but that's where Okoya comes in. It's this AI-powered tool that basically helps you manage all your social media activities more effectively. So you can create engaging content, you can schedule your posts in advance, you can track your performance across all the different platforms.
Wow, so instead of constantly switching between apps and spreadsheets, I can streamline everything in one place.
Exactly. It's all about simplifying your workflow and making sure your social media presence is, working as hard as you are.
Okay, last but not least, we've got Market Muse. This one seems to be geared toward, content creators who want to dominate the search engine rankings.
That's right. Market Muse is all about SEO, or search engine optimization.
Which is basically the art of making your content show up higher in search results so more people will find it.
Exactly. And Market Muse uses AI to do this really effectively. So it can analyze your existing content, it can identify gaps in your content plan, and it can tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your rankings.
Wow, so no more blindly guessing which keywords to target or what kind of content to create.
Nope, Market Muse takes all the guesswork out of it.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh,
This whole lineup of tools is just, wow. It's really making me realize just how much AI is already impacting the business world.
it is, isn't it? And the exciting thing is that this is just the beginning. We're only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI.
Totally. And speaking of exciting things, ZAKA also shines a spotlight on a particularly intriguing tool, Tome AI.
Ah, yes, Tome AI, the AI-powered presentation tool that's supposed to revolutionize the way we create presentations.
PowerPoint, be afraid, be very afraid.
Well, maybe not quite yet, but Tome AI is definitely making waves. What makes it so unique is that it uses AI to help you create presentations that are not only informative, but also visually stunning and engaging.
So instead of spending hours fiddling with templates and animations, I can just let Tome AI do the heavy lifting.
Pretty much. You just give it a brief description of your topic, and it'll generate a structured slide deck complete with relevant content, images, videos, the whole 9 yards.
That's amazing. And the best part is there's a free account option so our listeners can try it out for themselves.
Exactly. I highly recommend giving it a spin and seeing how AI can elevate your next presentation. It's a really cool tool.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from AI video generation to coding assistance, marketing tools, and even the future of web browsing. It's clear that the AI landscape is evolving at a breathtaking pace.
It is. But amidst all the excitement, it's important to pause and reflect for a moment.
Reflect on what, exactly?
Well, if AI is advancing this rapidly, what skills and knowledge do we need to cultivate to not just keep up, but actually thrive in this new landscape? What do you think?
It's amazing to think, that all this stuff we've talked about, all these advancements, are all from just this one newsletter.
I know, right?
Hey,
It just shows you how much is happening in the world of AI. It's like every day there's something neat to learn about.
it can be a lot to take in, but I have to say, ZAKA does a really good job of, curating and presenting these developments in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, they really do a great job of making it accessible and even, exciting.
Totally. And, speaking of exciting, I wanted to circle back to that question you posed earlier. If AI is evolving this rapidly,
Oh, yeah.
what skills and knowledge do we need to develop to cultivate to not just keep up, but to really thrive in this new world? It's a big question.
It is a big question, and I don't think there's any one easy answer,
Right.
But I think it boils down to a few key areas. I think first and foremost, we need to understand how AI works. Okay, understanding the basics.
Right. I mean, we need to understand its capabilities, its limitations, what it can do, what it can't do.
Right.
That doesn't mean everyone needs to become like a data scientist or anything,
Right.
but having a basic literacy in AI concepts, I think that's becoming more and more essential.
Yeah, it's like in the age of information, knowing how to read.
Uh,
You don't need to be a novelist, but you need to be able to understand what you're reading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Okay.
Secondly, I think we need to cultivate adaptability,
Okay.
like a willingness to embrace lifelong learning.
Yeah.
Because the skills that are in high demand today
Mhm.
might be totally obsolete tomorrow.
Right.
So being able to learn new things quickly and efficiently, I think that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, it's like, I know, it's like surfing, right? You have to be able to adjust to the wave, to the changing conditions. Otherwise, you're going to wipe out.
Perfect analogy. Okay, and finally,
Okay.
I think it's important that we don't forget about our human skills. Right. The things that make us human.
Exactly. Things like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, the ability to, connect with others on a deeper level.
Right. Empathy, all that stuff.
These are the qualities that set us apart from machines,
Yeah.
and they're going to become even more valuable in an AI-driven world.
So it's not about like becoming robots ourselves, right?
No, not at all.
It's about using AI to enhance our human capabilities, to help us create a better future for everyone.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where human ingenuity and artificial intelligence can work together in harmony.
I love that. Harmony.
Wow.
All right. Well, I think this deep dive has been incredible. We've explored so much from video generation to coding assistance, marketing tools,
Yeah.
even the future of web browsing.
Hmm.
It's clear that AI is not just some like technological revolution.
Right.
It's a societal revolution that's going to impact every aspect of our lives.
And the most exciting part is that we're still really just at the beginning of this whole thing.
Right. Who knows what amazing breakthroughs and transformative applications are just around the corner.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. So, to our listeners, keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking those big questions. The future is ours to shape. And with a little curiosity and a willingness to, embrace the unknown, I think we can create a world where AI empowers us to reach our full potential.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for having me on the deep dive. It's been a blast.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep diving deep.